Hello guys and welcome. I hope you all have an awesome day so far. Please bear with my voice. I have a little bit of a scratchy throat. I have a little bit of a sore throat today. But in today's video we're going to talk about Wendy Williams, her career, and the collapse of it. And just a little side note, I love Wendy. I watch many hours of her show. And I just wanted to look into how she was doing and what was going on with her. And it prompted me to want to make the video to share with you guys. Please excuse the noise if you hear it in the background. We're having construction done on the house. So you might hear a little bit of banging here and there. I'm going to try and talk a little bit louder so you guys can hear the video good. But anyways, I appreciate all of you for being here. If you would like, subscribe and comment below if you want to be entered into the bi-weekly giveaway. And let's get into today's video. Well, as most of us know, Wendy Williams and her show has been bringing the drama and the controversy to fans for many years. But that all changed after her health began plummeting. The Wendy Williams show has been bringing drama and controversy for over 14 incredible seasons, and now seeing a major shift due to her health. Sherri Shepherd has stepped in to take over for the long-standing show, and as she transitions the stage and turns it into her very own, fans have been eyeing Wendy's health issues and are saddened to see her fade to gray. The once powerful talk show host has suffered a number of setbacks in the recent years, all of which seem to have accumulated to her total inability to lead her own program. It is sad. The collapse of Wendy's career is a result of her ailing health, her addiction issues, personal problems, and a slew of fans that were put off from some of her statements and on-set behavior when it became too much and too controversial. Wendy began her career in the entertainment industry with a job on the radio when she was just making $3.74 per hour, and she has certainly come a long way since then. At the height of her TV hosting career, Wendy was earning $55,000 per episode of The Wendy Williams Show, taking her to $10 million paycheck per season. And this is just one of her many income streams. She started off strong and quickly established a massive fan following, which was even more impressive considering she held off from joining social media for several years after. Wendy's fans have connected deeply with the star as a result of her no-nonsense attitude and the very relatable way she puts everything on the table and shares her personal stories with her audience. I know that's one reason why I love her. She's very relatable. One of the most groundbreaking moments on the show was when Williams revealed that she was put together for work, but behind the scenes she was falling apart as a result of her severe drug and alcohol addiction. She went on to tell fans she was living in a sober house and that her life was completely flipped upside down. She continued to share her addiction struggles with her fans from that point forward. Wendy's marriage to Kevin Hunter had seen its fair share of rocky moments, but none were as troubling as the stretch of time in which they were processing the details of their divorce. Wendy discovered Hunter's infidelity and also learned at that time about him fathering a love child, which she had no clue about. That put a swift end to their already tumultuous relationship. As far as all that goes, Wendy also was forced to fork over $250,000 for Hunter to find a new home. She was forced to sell her New Jersey mansion and was on the hook for $10,000 a month alimony. The stress of the divorce and everything that comes with it proved to be too much for Wendy and her ability to focus on hosting her show at that time. The most visible hit to Wendy's career has been her ailing health. Wendy suffers from Graves' disease and lymphedema and has taken weeks off at a time in order to focus on her health. Fans have watched as she's fainted and fell during tapings of her show and has been seen visibly struggling to get through the work. Her deeply concerning health struggles have led to Williams' long-term absence from the show and deeply affected her ability to focus on her work and her advancing of her career, of course. Just when it seemed that Wendy was on the mend and she had announced the return of her show, she was hit with yet another setback. She tested positive for the coronavirus in September 2021 and explained to fans that this was a shocking case of breakthrough COVID. Once again, her health impeded her ability to work, and she was forced to delay her long-awaited return to the set of her show. Her absence was really becoming problematic. Despite the fact that she was paid to bring drama and controversy to the forefront of her show, Wendy pushed the envelope too far with a series of unforgettable and often sometimes downright cringy moments. Fans won't soon forget the time that she mocked the death of singing sensation Suave by suggesting nobody knew who the murdered TikTok star was. Her tone-deaf, crass commentary led to a huge uproar of anger from her fans. She has even intentionally made fun of Phoenix's cleft lip star, which was very off-putting to her fans. Her controversial commentary seemed to have no filter, and fans began moving slowly away from watching the show as a result. Between her constant absences and her incredibly insulting commentary on the show, when she was able to make it, Wendy was quickly becoming too much of a liability. Airtime had to be populated. The crew and production staff relied, of course, on the wages from the show to earn a living, and Williams was absent more than she was present on the set. She quickly became too much of a liability, and producers were itching to see better ratings and regain the traction of the daytime television time slot. During the peak of her success, Wendy Williams was worth a jaw-dropping $60 million. Sadly, the bulk of her finances have been drained. She is now left with a current net worth of just $20 million. Not that $20 million is anything to sneeze at, but she was on her way to more success and more success until all of these issues came about, and especially her health, so it's very heartbreaking. The once successful star has seen a dramatic decrease in finances as a result also of her divorce, and her on-set earnings have been deeply affected by her inability to host the show herself. As her career began to fall, her finances began to reflect the same level of stress. The Wendy Williams Show drew in millions and millions of viewers and kept fans totally engaged. That is, until Wendy stopped showing up for work. Her continuous absence was manageable at first, as the entire team took a few weeks off with the promise that they were going to return, and returned with a big bang. Sadly, that powerful return didn't materialize. Instead, the show saw a series of filler hosts who stepped in to save the show and keep things in motion. Some guests were Leah Remini, Sherry Shepherd, Jerry Springer, Fat Joe, I'm trying to think, Whitney Cummings, and many more. This was entertaining for a while, but the flow and energy of the show changed with each guest host. Of course, right? Everyone has their own personality. It wasn't the same. The show was totally not Wendy Williams' show any longer. And this interrupted the consistency that fans were attached to and attracted to. Like when Wendy was leading the ship, all her hot topics and everything she did no longer existed. So that also made the fans slowly stop watching. There was one particular guest host that sparked interest with Wendy's fans. In fact, the network's ratings soared and saw levels they haven't seen or witnessed in many years, and that was when Sherry Shepherd stepped in. Fans instantly found Shepherd to be relatable and likable, and as the ratings soared, so did the fan interest. With Wendy's help still in the balance, the network has made the decision that they can no longer await her return, and Sherry Shepherd has officially now replaced Wendy Williams. Wendy's inability to attend work has expanded beyond the network's ability to remain in hiatus and guest host in crisis mode. They have now moved on with a fresh new look as Shepherd takes the reins and effectively shuts down Wendy Williams and shuts it down entirely. The show is no longer on the air, and her most lucrative income stream has now dried up. Well, guys, this was sad, wasn't it? But this is the end of the video and the end of the collapse of the Wendy Williams Show and all the information that I could find. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And until next time, be safe.